Williams on the weak side.
Chuck, very important for Magnolia to have a big first quarter. Remember, in game number 1, it was 24-14. In game number 2, it was 40-27 in the first 12 minutes. And tama yung sinabi ni Carlo. Ano ba yung Magnolia brand of basketball? We saw that in game number 2 in the third quarter. They were playing more methodical. Hindi sila nakipagsabayan dito sa TNT. Alam naman natin, itong TNT is a team that has a lot of firepower, relies on the three-point shot. Mahirap makipagsabayan sa ganun, especially when they're on a roll.
Oh.
Talking of a roll, that shot of Paul Lee going in.
Many friendly rolls.
That's a good start, for Paul Lee, and that's what you need. You need something to build on, and I think that third quarter in game number 2 was something that Magnolia was able to build on.
Just a creative score is Paul Lee, and doon pag nakita niya kasi yung bola pumasok sa ring, that's usually a good sign, especially on his first attempt. Lee, though, missing on that free throw, Paul, as we saw in the graphics a while ago, scored 12 points and 5 of 12 from the field.
There was a point, Chuck, that itong si Paul Lee hindi pa nagmimintis ng free throw dito sa komperensyang ito.
And he has just been automatic from the charity stripe, pero nagmintis dyan sa una. Montalvo, together with Pogoy, Williams, that's Mikey and Kelly Williams, and Rosario. Montalvo libre sa kaliwa pero hindi umubra.
He's been a great fit for TNT. This conference, lumabas yung laro nito si Kid Montalvo.
He has been a defender. He is in only second year in the PBA.
And what I like about it is he's becoming really the point guard for TNT. We know that Mikey Williams will score. He's okay to defer. He's okay to bring up that basketball. He's okay to find that open man, to give that extra pass. Itong kagandahan dito kay Kid Montalvo. Initially, we're seeing already Gio Halalo trying to deny Mikey Williams. Basically, what they want to do is have 4-on-4 basketball.
That's what Carlos talking about as well. That they are gonna. I'm sure that is probably number one with a bullet. Kung paano nila pipigilan itong si Mikey Williams, but Halalon with 5 straight points to help the Hotshots open up with a 7-0 blast to start this first period. Ito, magic bunot tong si Halalon, starter in this ball game, forcing TNT into a timeout as he let it fly from beyond the arc to make it 7-0 to start the first period for the Hotshots.
As a starter, filling in for Mark Barroca, Gio Halalo knows that he will be playing a much bigger role here in game number 3. According to Gio, it has been a big challenge for him, Mark Barroca, and the rest of the Magnolia defense to try and slow down Mikey Williams, who has already claimed both Player of the Game awards in his first 2 stints in the PBA Finals. Halalon said that a lot of people are surprised at how good Williams has been because he did not do too well in playing in the Philippines before entering the PBA. The guard said that Mikey's potential has been unleashed because of Coach Shot Reyes' dribble drive offense. Still, Halalo knows that for Magnolia to have a better shot at winning, he'll have to play even harder on defense against a TNT rookie who is actually older than the Magnolia veteran. 5 points for Halalo and ball denial against Mikey Williams. Certainly a great start for Gio in this ball game. Back to you, gentlemen.
Maraming salamat, Carlo Paminduan. And Halalon trying to get another bucket there, but nagmintis. And on the it could go on Rosario.
That could be number 2.
Oh, ikalawang foul na yan ni Troy, and that's not something he's had a problem with thus far in the series. And on the other side, a good sign for TNT as Brian Heruela able to drain another triple. And pasok muna si Erem sa sahig para sa TNT Tropang Giga.
So in the first over a minute, itong si Gio Halalon taking control of this ball game defensively, taking out Mikey Williams, not allowing him to handle that basketball, and then getting 5 points.
Paul Lee missing there on that runner over Poy Eram. So it's 7-3 with 9:30 remaining as take a look at once again Halalon hounding Mikey Williams. Like you said, Nadon, this is not something we've seen before. They've allowed a lot more freedom on the floor for Williams. Not the case here in game number 3.
Well, something that we saw that Chris Ross basically did as well in the San Miguel series when he was denying Mikey Williams and not allowing him to get that basketball. But Gio Halalon is really, yung may term dyan, yung inaasawa niya itong si Mikey Williams.
Problema dyan is that you give a lot more space for guys like Roger Pagoy to get going from outside. That's back-to-back threes for TNT. Lead is down to 1 for Magnolia. Halalo nagtitipon, free throw line jumper. Another one good for the Cyclone. He's got 9 in the period.
When you talk about a guy that will need a lot of energy in today's ball game, defensively you're trying to deny a guy basically full court, and then on the other hand he's scoring.
Check that, that's 7 for Halalon rather in this first period. Williams may space, and all he needs is just a little bit of daylight, Dom, and all of a sudden it's a tie game.
So if you're Mikey Williams, the first thing is how do you get that basketball? When you get that basketball, one little screen, dun mahihirapan si Gio Halalon because obviously Gio is not that big, so kinakailangan tumulong agad. So very important yung communication dun sa pick and roll ng defense ng Magnolia Hotshots.
And there are great offensive players who can use the activity of a defender against them as well. No? May ganyan, may maganyan eh.
You can, and you know, you're gonna read as well. Ganun din ka-importante yung coaching staff ng TNT ngayon for Mikey Williams to be able to have him adjust and see kung saan siya pwedeng malibre, kung ano yung pwede niyang gawin. And even his teammates, especially the guys that are giving him screens.
Lee got caught with the ball in his hand on the way up and had it on the way down. That's turnover on the Hotshots. A lot more activity for Paul here in the first period. You love to see it, especially in penetration niya sa loob.
So right away, di ba, pagpasok na pagpasok, he's already looking to score. Same thing as Gio Halalon because they need to be able to be the here in game number 3.
Pagoy can't get it to fall. Battle for the loose ball. It is going to stay on this side. Mukhang mapipituan si Halalon.
Well, Gio needs to be careful. You know, he's all fired up. He's playing well. He's defensively, he's doing fantastic. Offensively, he's doing fantastic as well. So you don't want a technical foul. You don't want a flagrant foul. You don't want that to happen if you're Gio Halalon. Because remember, Mark Barroca is not 100%.
So is Lee. They're going to need a two-way game from Halalon. Game number 3. Williams over to Poy. JP trying to put the moves on one of the best defenders in the paint. And Eram showing off the fancy footwork to get the deuce.
Ang haba din kasi ng kamay nitong si JP Eram, and you know, really he's really worked on his footwork pagdating dun sa offense sa baba.
Mr. And all of a sudden it's TNT with a 2-point lead, trying to add more. Mikey stopped on a dime. Kelly libre. Was able to get one of those in game number 2, missing on that top of the key triple.
And you know, when you talk about backpass, you remember in the San Miguel series, who was he defending? Diba? It was Mo Tautua and Junmar Fajardo. If you think about it, baka nakaganda pa rin yung basically a week and a half or almost 2 weeks na nakapagpahinga siya.
Dave Guapo Marcelo's on the floor. Pinahinga muna si Kelly Williams. And Roger Ray Pugoy at the free throw line. Si Pugoy hasn't really gotten going yet in this series. Shot 9 points, 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. But with Halalon, yung inaasawa ni si Williams, it's been Pugoy that's been able to get more looks.
Brian Heruela, on the other hand, is the one that's tasked against Paul Lee.
That's the fascinating thing about this TNT squad na to. In previous years, you knew that it was going to be Jason Castro leading the charge. Ngayon, di mo alam kung sino yung iinit for this game eh.
And they have the luxury na hindi kinakailangan pumutok ni Jason Castro and they can still win. Before, when it was just Jason Castro, talagang pag hindi siya pumutok, hindi maganda ang tsansa na manalo. But Ian Sangalang, looks like he may have gotten a knee to his thigh.
Right, on the way up, nabangga siya ni Aram sa ere, and boy, those things are not fun. Mukhang ni pa nga yan eh. Sa pag-angat ni Aram. Well, Sangalang was dislodged, no?
He was holding on to the side of his thigh. So let's see if he can basically walk it off. So that's going to be a foul on JP Aram. Injuries talaga is one of the biggest considerations whenever you're making a run for the championship. For you to be successful, health is a major factor.
Sangalang at the free throw line completes the 3-point play.
So it looks like okay lang itong si Ian Sangalang. He just got a little banged up there.
Another guy also coming off the bench in this game though was Calvin Abueva. Alam natin si Calvin, sanay naman yan sa 6-man role. Heruela trying to put the moves on Rivas. Pull-up jumper, no go.
And that's what Magnolia wants. They want it to become a Brian Heruela, Dave Marcelo offense for TNT.
They'll take that all day. Ian trying to go against Poy. Look at Sangalang working inside. Bounce won't fall. Battle for the loose ball goes to TNT. Less than 6 minutes remaining in the first period. Williams na naman kontra Halalon. Williams finding Roger for 3. That's good. Big shot there for Pugoy.
Not forcing any shots, and even with that big 7-0 run by Magnolia, TNT keeping its composure, finding the open man. And that's what I was saying. Mas madadali yung mga tira nitong TNT because of that good ball movement.
Hindi natinag dun sa run ng Magnolia to start the game. Tapigan ng bola, napunta pa rin sa panik ng Magnolia. Jason Castro on the floor for the Tropang Giga.
So 7-0 run, and then a counter, basically 15-5.
And that has changed the complexion of this game once again. Jackson Corpus entered the fray as well for the Magnolia Hotshots. Timeout requested. And a 3-point lead for the Tropang Giga. Look at the three-pointers from the TNT Tropang Giga, aka the Splash Tropa. Everyone na pinasok ni Coach Chot got a bucket from the rainbow area.
And if I'm not mistaken, all of these 3 points, maybe except for a Mikey Williams and maybe a Ryan Reyes, all of these were coming off assist passes.
Good numbers for TNT. They had 16 dimes, and it's not just about it's Abueva right away
Announcing his presence.
Yep. And Jackson Corpus as well on the other end for the Hotshots will be on defense. Abueva, one of the leading candidates for best player of the conference. White Adam with a brick from beyond the arc. The Bees getting the board.
See, that time the Magnolia defense right on JP Era.
Overall, no, much better defense here from Magnolia. Especially when the previous game you let your team, score 40 on you. Completely different dito. 15 pa lamang yung naitala ng TNT.
Actually, even in the first game, that was 24-14. Masama yung shooting ng Magnolia ng first quarter. A good thing so far in today's ball game, Magnolia, prior to that timeout, was shooting 50% from the field.
Ruela with the second three-pointer of this contest. He has been a factor in this series. Ruela had 11 points on 3 of 5 in game number 2. Sangalang elevating against Marcelo. Look at Abueva working hard. Activities there for the Beast. And the flailing around from Corpus. Mahuhuli si Dave Guapo. What a headache it must be to try to box out Corpus and Abueva on the same thing. I can't even imagine.
They don't just go to one place and stop. They keep going around. They keep moving. They're, malikot sila kaya ang hirap depensahan at mahirap i-block out.
Activity levels is off the charts. And Barroca is on the floor for Magnolia. He will try to give it a go. Lee, no go on that three-point attempt. Right on si Jason Castro. Inabot kay Pugoy. Pugoy probing. They will reset the offense with Roger top of the key against Jack Corpus. Roger Ray sizing up Corpus. Oh, the step-through move for Roger Ray. Pugoy is good.
Mikey Williams not getting the number of looks so far in the first quarter. But the other guys, Pugoy now with 7 points.
Biggest lead of the game thus far for TNT, 20-14. They want the ball in Sangalang's hands against Marcelo. Ian. Double coming. Jason able to get that ball. Abueva. That is a leg on Marcelo. Calvin was trying to call for a timeout. At mukhang na-save niya ang possession with 3.3 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Chuck, let me check that. That's 9 points now for Pugoy.
Take a look at the activity on defense as well as Marcelo diving. Abueva landing. Just decided to plop down on top of Marcelo. Wala na magawa si Marcelo kundi ngumiti na lang. Well, we've been talking about Roger Ray Pugoy, Dom, and how his offense production hasn't really been there on consistent level dito sa ating finals thus far. Pero in depensa ng forcing Pugoy be more aggressive, and he is repaying TNT with big numbers so far.
Overshadowed, di ba, yung nangyari dito kay Roger Pugoy because of all the points that Mikey Williams has scored in Game 1 and Game number 2. 21 in Game number 1, 28 in Game number 2. But we all know Pugoy, he can easily light it up.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we saw it in the semifinals. We've seen it this conference. Pugoy is a guy. Once he gets that touch from that three-point area, napakahirap pigilan din. Nakita na natin sa Gilas din yan.
Montalvo on the floor, replacing Brian Haruela. The rookie Jerick Ahamisi is also fielded in by Coach Chito Victolero as the Hotshots trying to slow down TNT. Oh! Perfectly run play by the Hotshots. And Ryan Reyes and Calvin Abueva getting into it. Abueva nagre-reklamo na tinamaan siya ni Reyes on that rebound attempt.
Well, Ryan Reyes, alam natin, he's a guy that will not back down. He's a guy that's very physical as well, whether he's playing against a guard or a big man. Ryan Reyes will get down and dirty.
Take a look at that big shot from Baroka. And then Reyes on the way up.
Didn't seem like it was intentional. So let's see how the referees will interpret that.
Pero
Paminsan kasi ang reaction ng player is poprotectionan mo yung bola by putting up your elbow. So we'll see. But you know, you gotta credit Calvin Abueva also. You know, ever since he came back from that suspension, yung aggressiveness niya hindi nawala.
Yep.
But the calmness is there. Him and, you know, it's all about basketball now. Kumbaga yung daming mga commercials around before, wala na yun for Calvin Abueva.
He must do a ton of yoga on in his off days. Wusa. Gusfraba. Yun nga, we were talking about that. Even the previous possession, no?
So it's a technical foul on Jackson Corpus. Because on that dead ball situation, well, we were all focused on trying to see ano yung nangyari kay Ryan Reyes.
Interesting. So it's Corpus that was only whistled for the penalty. Reyes, no flagrant foul. And while Castro's the free throw line, we would like to thank Mount Carmel, our hospital partner in Pampanga, Our Lady of Mount Carmel Medical Center. Maraming salamat po. Reyes, key player here for the Tropang Giga. And that
and how long has he been with TNT? Diba? Itong si Ryan Reyes, ever since he moved from Santa Lucia, he's been with TNT. He's won championships with TNT and still here wanting to give another championship para dito sa kuponan na ito.
You can't talk about the dynasty of TNT without talking about Ryan Reyes.
I mean, there was always what Jimmy Alapag and Taulava, and then you talk about the Jason Castros, but Ryan Reyes was always there to support. Remember, peak for one time, but Ryan Reyes was always still there.
Then you got the Jared Dillingers and all those guys. Jack Corp was getting that jumper to drop. Lead down to one for the Tropang Giga. Montalvo two-man game with Erap.
Chuck, that third quarter in game number 2, Jackson Corpus and Ian Sangalang were the ones that played big roles kung bakit nakabalik yung Magnolia in that game.
He has been a fire starter for the Magnolia Hotshots. Lead pass over to Sangalang. Oh, this game is getting really, really physical right now. And may sisilipin muli ang ating mga referee as Reyes is still down on the floor. So Sangalang got space and was able to, was moving around in the paint to try to elevate for that shot. At mukhang may natamaan, and that's obviously Ryan Reyes. Sisilipin ng ating mga referee kung may extra curricular motion dun sa pagtira ni Sangalang. And this is what we expect. Magnolia needs to play desperate basketball to try to get back into the series.
Well, we all know Magnolia basketball is physical. We all know Magnolia basketball is defense. And obviously the first 2 games dominated ng offense.
Calvin called for an offensive foul.
So Calvin Abueva pushes Ryan Reyes to Ian Sangalang. Yun yung nakita ng mga referees. Nagsimula kasi yan in the previous place pa di ba?
Yeah. That was a quick find by the referees as well at the spot that. So that's two fouls on Abueva.
But that's just an offensive foul, so that's okay. You know, if you look at Calvin Abueva, 2 fouls, you know, he's a guy that knows how to play as well with his fouls.
8 seconds on the shot clock for the Tropang Giga. Over to Glenn Cobantin, kakapasok lang. Cobantin with a jumper, no go. Rebounded by Giraffe Rivas. Less than 2 minutes remaining in what has been a foul-plagued first period. Baroka for 3, no go. Tumatakbo si Reyes, coast to coast, finding the blur. Over to Cobantin on the left side. In and out. Rebounded by the Beast. Complaining na tinamaan na naman siya.
Well, expect that every time you go to that shaded area or magkakatamaan, you know, Calvin Abueva will be there. Calvin, we know how physical he is. Nagkawalaan sa depensa. Itong TNT, Rafi Rivas getting a wide open shot.
This is Magnolia Hot Shots pace we're watching right now. This type of game.
You can see things are slower. Right? Nung nag-run itong TNT, after that 7-0 run by Magnolia, bumilis yung laro eh. It's more open court, quicker passes, but now look at the defense. Look at the shot clock. It's 5 seconds left in the shot clock, and the offense of TNT hasn't really gone anywhere.
And then a turnover as well as Castro was stopped by the defense of the Hot Shots in the paint. And Dom TNT shooting only 38% from the field. And Magnolia 47%, kaya naman it is a tight ball game dito sa ating unang yugto.
Could say worst first quarter for TNT in the series. Best defensive quarter para naman sa Magnolia.
Baroka, Abueva, Anmisi letting it fly. That's good! A big shot from the rookie, Jerica Anmisi.
He's a big lift if he's able to knock down those outside shots. Kasi, kasama siya dun sa rotation, nitong Magnolia all throughout.
Shots. Maganda pa dyan, they have a chance for 2 for 1. On a switch against Williams. Mikey, Reyes, letting it fly, no go. Tumatakbo ang Magnolia, they got numbers. Abueva. Could be, it is a blocking foul. It's gonna go on Castro, who collided with Abueva, who was midair.
I thought it was gonna be a let go by the referees.
There was contact for sure, but a little bit of a late call there.
That's why I thought it was going to be a let go by the referees.
So Abueva at the free throw line, and we see the numbers of the Beast, Dom. Again, he had a double-double. There were positives, but the 3 of 12 and then the 3 turnovers, that really hurt Magnolia.
You know, in the first game, ganun din yung numbers niya, 11 points, 11 rebounds din eh. In the second, consistent siya. But ang hinahanap nila talaga yung, making those extra plays, keeping the ball alive, making himself count more defensively. That's what they're looking for in Calvin Abueva.
Abueva goes 2 for 2, restoring a 6-point lead to the Hot Shots with 6 seconds remaining. There's still time. Williams, pull-up jumper, no. And that completes the best quarter thus far. If you're talking about first periods for Magnolia, they take a 6-point lead into the second frame. shots as they limited the red-hot TNT Tropang Giga to 35 to 33% shooting after scoring 40 in the first quarter of game number 2. We're seeing a different level of intensity from Magnolia as they try to make this a 2-1 series. Chuck Araneta once again together with Dominic Uy. Domi talked about how Magnolia really changing things around, really staying true to their identity. At yan ang naging isa sa dahilan kung bakit lamang sila ng 6 at the end of the first quarter.
Defensively holding down TNT to 33% from the field, 5 of 13 from the 3-point area. Remember, that was 10 3-point shots. Pinakita ng TNT in game number 2 in the first quarter. And you look at the rebounding as well. 16 rebounds compared to only 9 for TNT. Also, the assists for the Magnolia Hotshots. 6 assists in the first quarter, only 3 for TNT.
The Hotshots have always been an unselfish squad. You know, 6 assists already. Baroka back on the floor for the Hotshots. As Coach Chito Victolero already with a pulse on his team, trying to help them get back into this game.
We keep talking about the first quarter. The first quarter in game number 2, TNT had 10 3-point field goals made. That is a PBA Finals all-time record.
Only had 5 in the first quarter. Abueva all the way. A big drive by the Beast, and that's vintage Calvin Abueva on that drive.
And, you know, 5 of 13 is not bad.
It's pretty good, actually.
It's actually
good.
good.
Anything would take it. Libre. Rosario sa kanan. Airball yan.
Even if they did not make that, that's a good pass by Mikey Williams. So wide open, Troy Rosario.
Oh, beautiful. Look at the ball movement flying up and down the floor of the Hotshots. And they have the biggest lead of the game. It's 30 to 20.
These touch passes, we saw that in game 1 and game 2 for TNT. Now, Magnolia able
that's 3.
to do the same.
Oh, that's 3 on Troy.
So it was either going to be 3 on Abueva or 3 on Troy.
Legal screen called in. You know, the absence of Rosario actually changed a lot of the offensive dynamics of TNT in the first period. And now he just cannot stay on the floor as he has to be replaced again by Era. Corpus kontra kay Heruela. Ahanmisi, Baroka, screen inalok ni Calvin. Huli yan ni Heruela. Williams sumatakbo with 2 defenders to beat. What a pass over to Pugoy. Roger Williams. Offensive foul once again called on the Tropang Giga.
You look at it defensively, Magnolia is able to beat TNT to the spot.
It's like they're teleporting from
Nababasa nila eh,
Oh,
diba?
yun na nga
Nababasa nila eh. See, able to get to that spot. But Corpus was a little, not necessarily in front of Pugoy.
Whatever the case may be, it's another turnover on TNT. Magnolia trying to add on even more to this advantage. Ahanmisi, pull-up jumper, no go. Rebounded by Kelly. Ito ni TNT trying to push the pace kontra dito sa Hotshots. So they want this matchup Pugoy against Ahanmisi. Boggs kontra Jerick. Pugoy, gorgeous, smooth-looking fadeaway there from Roger Ray Pugoy.
If you're TNT, you go to that matchup every single time.
You probably also want to get back on defense. Because if not, Jackson Corpus is going to make you pay.
Well, Jackson Corpus, you know, the beauty of a Jackson Corpus, his game is quite similar to a younger Calvin Abueva.
Sure.
Obviously, Abueva was a more polished guy even when he came into the league. But the energy, the motor of Jackson Corpus and him willing to be physical and do little things. Ang kagandahan dito, matututo siya dito kay Calvin Abueva eh.
I've always had a soft spot for Corpus. Watching him from the D-League, you know, where he really made a name for himself. Isa siyang halimbawa din eh. Kung paano, kung nagsipag ka rin sa PBA D-League, you will carve out a role for yourself in the PBA. He did it with, you know, with yung Colombian Jeep, before eventually getting traded dito nga sa Magnolia.
Nakita yung value niya eh, di ba?
For sure.
Ng mga bigger teams. And that's why, you know, kaya siya nasama sa mga trade.
Foul is going to be called on Corpus. little bit too physical against Kelly Williams. Coach Chito Victorero. Safe to say, hindi siya sumang-ayon sa tawag dun kay Jackson Corpus. Still an 11-point lead for his squad. Mikey Williams directing traffic. Heruela back to Williams against Baroka. 5 seconds. Williams turning on the juice. Fadeaway jumper. What a move from Mikey Williams.
Mikey Williams just so quick, and the elevation of that jumper is just tremendous. Very difficult matchup for a guy that's smaller than him.
And he gets so much air, no, when he elevates. Talagang ano, hindi siya piso-piso jumper. Talagang ano siya, buong puwersa.
Hindi siya kapareho natin.
Hindi siya set shot. Calvin bumped on the way up. That is going to go on Machine Gun Kelly.
Just a smart move by Abueva there, hearing the whistle and throwing it up.
Si Calvin Abueva, ano yun eh, foul magnet yan. Foul magnet, he gets a lot of fouls, and he also gets a lot of people to foul him. Goes both ways.
I mean, look at that shot of Mikey Williams. Sino yung nag-challenge? Rafi Rivas.
And then Baroka was also there.
So that hand up of Rafi Rivas definitely trying to make that shot even more difficult.
Gotta love the activity as well of Calvin Abueva. Already with 7 points, 5 rebounds to his name, and 3 assists. So this is just a classic all-around performance by Abueva thus far in the first half. Williams, a little bit of space. Labas muna kay Heruela. Williams nagtitipon kontra kay Baroka. Williams, crossover, pull-up jumper, swish. Come on, man. All you can do is just, if you're the defender, just shake your head and say good job.
No, because he has the ball in his hands. He's in control. There's no screen.
Wait.
It's basically one-on-one.
It's a one-on-one play. Baroka was right there. Williams just got a little bit higher and was just a little bit better on that exchange. Tignan mo.
Look at how
Baroka's
quick he
right
is.
there.
Look at the change direction. Going to the right, that crossover. Once he's able to get to that jumper, the elevation, Marco doesn't even get to the hand of Mikey Williams.
Oh,
wow.
Kelly! Machine gun drive from Kelly Williams. He gets the bucket and he will go to the free throw line.
Very important also, the guys coming off the bench for both teams, giving some relief to the starters, because we see also a lot of guys playing 30, 35 minutes. And when you're playing on a Sunday, Chuck, when you start a series on a Wednesday, that's 3 games in 5 days. This is the game that you can already feel how tired you are.
That's a good thing that they've got Kelly Williams, who is arguably one of the best conditioned players in the league, even at his age. As Coach Chot Reyes really brought the band together to try to make one run at the title. How can you leave this guy wide open? TNT just dodging bullets right now. Williams breaking the defense, pero hindi niya natapos yung layup against Rivas. Able to split that double team. Sanggalang, binangga, no go. Abueva fighting, goes to Eram.
Restoring some order.
gets ni Coach Chito Victolero, nagmamadali na naman tayo eh. The baseline back to a 5-point lead for the Hotshots. 6:40 remaining in the second period. Williams again. He's got Halalan on him, who did a great job in the first quarter. Binalik na siya ni Coach Chito Victolero. Heruela. Two-man game. Nakalusot, pero hindi umubra.
So look at them, slow it down now. Try to set up offensively.
Rome. Getting in the paint, over to Sangalang. Jumper, no go. Rebounded by Machine Gun Kelly.
TNT, on the other hand, they like to push that ball. They like to move that ball, play more open type of basketball, getting a lot of transition offense.
Ah, you could see the wheels turn in the heads of Mikey Williams. Teka, may space ako dito, pero medyo malayo ako. Pero nga pala, Mikey Williams, ako tira na natin to.
No, in that confidence, right? He's been knocking it down. You know, all throughout this finals. Nung semifinals, medyo shackled siya, di ba?
Huli ni Heruela yan. Oh! Duty foul given up by Halalon. As Heruela came crashing to the ground. That was a playoff foul given up by Halalon. It's another steal there by Heruela. Actually,
Napakan niya pa eh.
Oh, actually, I was about to say, baka nga wet spot yan eh. Pero baka nga nakapakan.
Because he was not able to take off. Ito si Brian Heruela. Mikey Williams now 3 out of 4 from the three-point area. 13 points for him.
Another solid game for Brian Heruela. He's got 7 points and 2 steals already, though. Check that, 3 steals already. What a luxury to have this guy as your third guard. Then meron ka pang Ping Eximiniano na nag-aabang lang.
Ping Eximiniano obviously known for his defense. At yun naman maganda dito sa TNT. Madami dito sa mga players ni Coach Chot. Ano yan, ha? They basically got them for nothing. Diba? Guys who didn't have teams.
Yeah. Ping Eximiniano was injured for a long time. As Halalon responding with that nice jumper. And again, Gio with a face-off of defense dito kay Mikey Williams. Pogoy against Rome. Roger getting a switch against Corpus. Pogoy, fadeaway, no go. Excellent defense there by Jackson Corpus. Gio binigyan ng espasyo ni Mikey. Kinabot muna kay Lee dahil may 14 pa sila sa shot clock. Paul, crossover. Bump! Bang! No bucket. He will have to earn it at the free throw line.
And that's the Paulie basket. He likes that contact off that dribble. They're needing him also to get into some sort of a groove.
That's Gio's jumper, giving him 9 points in the game. Paul, may 4 na puntos. Gawin na nating 5. The long wait is over. Relive the excitement once more as the 7-11 virtual run 2021 returns this November 7 to 30. Tumakbo tungo sa tagumpay at kasaysayan sa ang panigkaman ng mundo. Tayo na't magsama-sama at makisaya sa 7-11 virtual run 2021. Registration is from October 4 to 30, 2021. Visit www.run711.com for more details.
Forget, Magnolia is still up by 4 points.
They've weathered the storm for sure. And again, you give credit to the veterans that are on this team, no? Baroka, Corpus, Abueva, Williams. Again, the defense of Corpus there to challenge. Lee dancing with Heruela, step back jumper. Oh, lethal jumper from Paulie.
Paulie sizing up his defense there, seeing that he had the advantage with that jumper. 6-point lead now for the Hotshots.
4 minutes remaining. Williams getting Rome on a switch. Heruela looking for a screen from Eram. Heruela, nowhere to go.
Shot clock.
1 second. Pogoy doesn't know it. And 24 seconds of brilliant defense from the Magnolia Hotshots to force the turnover. Again, Lee just separation, stepping back, shooting that bang.
Ididiin ka talaga ni Paul Lee once he attacks him.
Oo. Tapos ikaw,
And you have to beat him to that spot.
Oh, Paul Lee down. Oh, Paul Lee's holding on to his knee on the other end. Paul Lee is down. Hopefully he's able to recover on the other end. Paul Lee is shaken up.
Well, he tried to split the defense. So they're checking on Paul Lee right now. He tried to split that defense of TNT. Of Heruela and Poy Eram.
Got into the teeth of the defense. Oh, it was actually even before it was when he planted and went for the hop step. That's when he crumpled to the ground already.
So I wonder kung natamaan ba niya yung tuhod nitong si JP Eram. Doon sa angulo yun, hindi makita kung natamaan eh.
But it's always a good sign, no? If you're able to walk off on your own power. So hopefully we can get some updates also on Paulie. Carlo, I'm sure, is working on that as we speak. Sa pagkakataon po na ito, nagpapasalamat po ang PBA kay Governor Dennis Delta Pineda sa kanyang pagtanggap sa amin dito sa Pampanga. Mabuhay po kayo, Gov Pineda.
Pugoy, 12 points, 2 of 4 from the three-point area, 4 of 7 in total from the field. Remember nung first quarter, when Mikey Williams, when they put that defense on Mikey Williams, it was Pugoy who started out the offense para sa TNT.
Oh, look at this, Dom. Paul is staying on the floor. Paul Lee is still there.
So mukhang baka nagkabanggaan lang ng tuhod.
Sanggalang. Can't get it to drop. Dapat na loose ball. May sumemplang napunta kay Kelly. Muntik pa na huli ni Halalon. Goes to Paul, letting it fly. And mukhang may foul. It's gonna go on Heruela. Brian saying that he was nowhere near the action. A commotion happening on the bench, most likely from TNT.
Bleeding. Itong si Brian Heruela.
Oh, and JP's down as well. Nakahawak sa batok si JP. God, there's just so much physicality that happened there. Did it happen on a previous possession? Because Brian was nowhere near Paul.
3 free throws for Paul Lee. So that was that possession. Oh no, that was no contact there for Brian Heruela.
Chalk it up to breaks of the game.
I mean, and if you're TNT, those things will happen.
That's 3 free throws. You're right, Dom. You called it. Breaks of the game goes Magnolia's way. Paul takes care of the first free throw.
And if you're TNT, you just gotta forget about it.
Still a close game. We still have an eternity of basketball to play. An entire second half. Castro back on the floor.
What should be more concerning for TNT is itong si JP Eram, because he did land on the floor, then he stood up, and then it seemed like he was there for a while.
Right.
But he's still now on the floor now, so it looks like he's okay.
And we covered the game where JP actually got smashed in the face
against San Miguel
by Moala Totua and SMB. So hopefully JP will be able to shake that off. 3 minutes remaining. Back to a 7-point lead for Magnolia. Williams against De La Rosa. Mikey, Kelly, passed it to nowhere. Defense once again of Magnolia forcing another turnover on the Tropang Giga. Timeout requested by Coach Sean Reyes.
Welcome back to game number 3 of the PBA Philippine Cup Finals 2021. RR Pugoy has not been his usual high-scoring self in the first 2 games of the finals. After leading all scorers in the semis, Pugoy has only averaged 8 points on 31% shooting from the field in the first 2 games. According to Pugoy, he's not worried about getting his usual numbers or even his usual touches. Pugoy is aware that he is a marked man on defense and that he has complete trust on the offense of TNT. Sabi niya, if he passes up on a shot, it just means that one of his teammates will be getting a much better look later in the possession. But he is currently leading TNT in scoring with 13 points alongside Mikey Williams. And a quick update on Paul Lee. It was another knee-to-knee collision, this time on his left knee. But he is okay. He will be playing in this ballgame. Back to you, John.
Maraming salamat, Carlo Pamituan. Good to hear. Nothing serious. Dun sa kondisyon ni Paul Lee. Sanggalang.
Just using his height over Kelly Williams that time. And because mabigat pag pumaposte itong si Ian Sanggalang, so Kelly Williams, we know that he can jump and try and challenge that shot. But because sometimes when you get bumped hard, hindi ka na rin makareact eh.
If I had to think of a nickname for Sanggalang, I just call him old school. Kasi he's just from a different era of playing ng big men, but it's so effective, especially with the skill set that he has.
And it's so nice to see that. That's basketball that, we grew up with.
De La Rosa, foul going to be called on JP Eram. And while we have this opportunity, Dom, I'd like to, on behalf of TV5, congratulate Carlos Yulo for bagging the gold medal in the men's vault in the 50th FIG Artistic Gymnastics World Championships. Congratulations sa ating kabayan na si Carlos Yulo.
Alam mo, kagandaan dito sa taong to is, obviously, in the Olympics the last time, hindi yun yung gusto niya maabot. Pero right after the Olympics, tuloy agad.
Back to work.
Diba? Back to work.
And gold na naman si Kaloy Yulo. Congratulations. Lee, no go. Battle for the loose ball. It goes to Heruela. Heruela tumatakbo. Inabot kay Mikey. Mikey getting Sanggalang on a switch. Reyes on the other side. They want it back to Boy. Back to Ryan for 3. A big shot there to stop the run of the Magnolia Hotshots.
They got to be able to run out at Ryan Reyes and challenge that shot.
Lead pass. And it's going to go on Reyes.
The passing of Magnolia has been spot on. 8 assists now for the Hotshots. And yung movement, we were talking about how good the movement offensively of TNT was in the first 2 games. Here in game number 3, you got to give that to Magnolia.
3-and-D specialist of the Magnolia Hotshots, Rome De La Rosa, second generation player rather. This is the guy na sa dami-dami ng stars na nasa lineup ng Magnolia, hindi kayang alisin ni Coach dito sa linya niya sa loob.
Well, because he's the best defender dun sa position niya. The best defender. And meron pa mga games na ang solid na siya dumipensa all throughout the conference. Tapos may mga games pa siya na mag-best player siya.
Nag-o-opensa pa siya. Castro. 2-man game. JP Eram working hard. Abuevo was there, but Eram able to get the stick back. Sanggalang. Oh, almost a turnover. And it's a turnover on Magnolia, a rare one, as they have been playing spectacular offense so far here in this first half.
Magnolia with 8 turnovers in the ball game. Same with TNT. That was the 9th, actually.
Castro and Eram. Jason, stopping and going. Pero tumapak sa linya, turnover na naman sa TNT. Defense of Sanggalang just closing the door on the blur. Seconds remaining in the first half. Lalon directing traffic, wanted to get it to Abueva against Reyes. They go high-low. They get it to Calvin. Trying to post up against Ryan. And a foul called on Ryan Reyes, sending the Hot Shots once again to the free throw line, where they have been living, Dom, in the first half.
I'm talking about the free throws for the Hot Shots. 13 of 14 so far in this game.
6 of 8 naman para sa TNT. Abueva with 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Gawin mo ng 9. Anmisi and Rivas in to finish off this second quarter. Paul Lee with a much better showing already. He's got 11 points on 3 of 6 from the field. Kita mo yung mga numero ni Calvin Abueva, 9, 5, and 3. A walking triple-double machine, or at least potential to get there. Etong si Abueva. And Coach Shot Reyes will use this opportunity to map out a final possession for his squad in the second quarter. And look at this, Dom. Again, we've been looking at the numbers all throughout. In game number 2 at the half, TNT had 66 points. Dito, 44 lamang.
And even in game number 1, Chuck, you look at that game, that was 53 to 34. So yung ano talaga, first 2 quarters so far, Magnolia been able to hold down TNT to just 44 points. It could be depending on what happens in the next play. But defensively doing a much better job, and then offensively, they are doing a better job as well, rotating that basketball, shooting the ball much better from the field, 51% so far.
41% from the field for TNT, while Magnolia shooting 51%. And their offense has been much better so far dito sa ating... well, actually, their offense has been more or less the same. 50 points sila nung game number 2. So, more at pace. Yun nga lang, depensa talaga yung nag-next level. Tignan natin kung ano ang huling opensa nitong tropang giga sa ating first half. Williams over to Reyes. 7 seconds. Reyes has got to go. 4 seconds for Ryan. Dipsy-do shot. In and out. Oh, Aram able to get that last second possession to fall.
Well, they were trying to go to JP Aram down low. Almost had that stop. They're the Hot Shots. But Aram getting that little tip in, cutting the lead to 6 points at the end of 24 minutes.
This has been the best half of the series so far for Magnolia. And it's because of this guy. Our player of the half brought to you by Firefly, the trusted lighting partner of the PBA. We go to Paul Lidom, who we said had to have a good game and to have an efficient game. And thus far, that is what he's done in the first half.
11 points once again for Paulie, but this time only in the first 24 minutes of action. He has definitely been a good spark para dito sa Magnolia Hot Shots. We all know what he can do. We all know that when the offense of Magnolia needs points, needs buckets, they go to Paulie.
It's a 6-point lead for the Hot Shots.
obviously, he wants to go to the Olympics once again.
Di pa nga tapos kasi meron pa siyang isang sinali na category. Nag-post si Gretchen Ho ng picture na nagpapahinga siya, nakatulog na lang siya sa sahig. Nakaplakda na lang siya. Nakatago na lang yung jacket sa mukha niya. anything to para sa bayan, ika nga.
I mean, hey, remember, Heitlin Diaz, how many times did she go to the Olympics before she finally won the gold medal?
We start things off with an Ian Sangalang bucket in the paint to make it an 8-point lead for Magnolia. 5 on the floor for Coach Chotre. This is Mikey Williams, Kelly Williams, Roger Pagoy, Brian Heruela, and Troy Rosario. Libre si Mikey Williams. Pasok na naman.
Ang ganda ng patience ng TNT doon, even for Mikey Williams. Could have pulled up right away when nag-switch itong si Ian Sangalang sa kanya. But no, attack the basket. Binigay niya kay Brian Heruela. Made the defense contract. Kung nag-kick out ulit, nalibre na naman itong si Mikey Williams off that Heruela assist.
Oh, a counter from Rome De La Rosa from the outside.
Oh, we kept talking about Rome De La Rosa, about him being defensively the best defender for Magnolia in that spot. Then he can score as well.
Oh, good defense there. Lee on the run with Heruela at the beat. Paul taking his time. Basket in the paint. Bigyan mo pa ng isa.
Paul, he's just so difficult to stop once he's got his head down and once he's got that dribble, because he's so strong. He likes that contact. He wants that contact. Gets it, gets the basket and the foul.
Just overpowering Brian Heruela. Next level move brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. So Lee's got 13 points. This has been one of his best showings thus far in the playoffs, as Paul Lee battling through a shoulder injury. Samahan mo pa na knee injury kanina, di ba? Nagkatama sila ni J. Piera, but still help. Thus far in the playoffs, as Paul steady and ready is Troy Rosario if he can stay on the floor and not get fouls. Eto, not eye-popping numbers, pero recipient of so many under-goal stabs. And yung mga galawan ng mga guardia, ready siya parati to finish para sa TNT.
You remember the Gilas Troy Rosario?
Sure.
Right? Spotting up every
Under-goal
so often,
stabs.
under-goal stabs. Yeah. Exactly what he's doing right now.
Exactly.
Again, the system of Coach Shot, the dribble drive, definitely fits a Troy Rosario.
Check this out. He's only played 5 minutes this entire game.
Dahil dun sa fouls niya. Diba? Nakatatlong foul siya agad.
Sangalang working his way in the paint. Old school once again from Ian Sangalang.
Not the prettiest, but just solid.
You love to see it. 11 ang kalamangan ng Magnolia. Look at this defense. It's a 1-2-2, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 1-2-2 defense right now being shown by Magnolia. And that's a turnover. Lee can still save it. Gets it. And it's now the biggest lead of the game for the Magnolia Hotshots.
Well, we said they needed to come out with a lot of energy. They did that in the first quarter, able to sustain that all throughout the first 24 minutes. Here in the third quarter, coming up again with that big spurt, up by 13 right now.
The hot shots are rolling and trying to make this a series. In game number 3, it's a full timeout. We'll be back after this break.
Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots have just built their biggest lead of the series here in the third quarter of game number 3. And according to assistant coach Johnny Abarientos, it was all about their defense. Sabi ni Coach Johnny, it's all about disrupting the fluid offense nitong TNT Tropang Giga, and that's why they gave them different looks in the first half, including box and ones, triangle and twos, and even switching defense on the high ball screens. Yan ang nagdulot sa Magnolia. That's why they were able to build this lead. Coach Johnny also credits Gio Halalon for setting the tone early and stepping up as a starter with Mark Barroca not being 100%. Sa kabilang banda naman for TNT, Assistant Coach Josh Reyes said that they prepared for these situations but they were not making great decisions in the first half. And when it comes to the physicality, the TNT assistant said they will have to play smart and attack first and be physical first instead of reacting. Back to you, gentlemen.
Paul Lee putting Pogoy on skates with that fadeaway to counter that 3 from Mikey Williams. An interesting report there from Carlo. Coach Josh Reyes has seen everything probably with Coach Shot, but of course it's much different putting what was on the the video into live action against the defense of Magnolia.
And one thing that as a coach, you can teach them more or less what you can do, what are the options. But at the end of the day, it's the decision of the player where to pass, what to do, whether to attack, whether to shoot. And then that's something that a player learns throughout numerous instances and situations given.
Ten-point lead there for Magnolia as De La Rosa was saying that he got it in the act of shooting pero hindi naniwala ating mga referee. Sideline inbound lamang. Rivas, Sangala, Lee, sidestepping. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Lee prep, Lee, bang, bang! Oh, a different Paul Lee we're seeing here in the finals.
Paul Lee had 11 points at the end of the first 2 quarters. Now Paul Lee with 19 in total. Sorry, make that 21. So that's 10 points in the first 4 minutes.
It has been a shootout between Lee and Williams, but so far Lee has had the advantage. Adam with a sweeping hook to trim the lead down to 11. But Lee starting to dance, attracting 2 defenders. Sanggalang back to Paul with 12 seconds left. Lee finding Sanggalang, and a foul given up by the Blur. De La Rosa and Aram getting into it. And Rivas is saying, it's quick to squash the beef. Lamang tayo, huwag na tayong makisaw-saw sa mga yan.
And that's just veteran moves, di ba? Na pinapakita nito si referee Rivas. Focus on the game. Because at the end of the day, we're still down 0-2.
You can see how badly Lee wanted that one, and he has been the fire starter here for the Magnolia Hotshots. 21 na para kay Lee. Halalon. Cross-court pass. Finding inside, and a foul called once again on the Tropangiga. That is going to be their 4th team foul.
Not able to match so far the energy na pinapakita ng Magnolia here in the third quarter.
Halalon. De La Rosa for 3. No go. Here's Castro on the run with Gio to beat. Jason, the defense of Gio's there, but the Blur still able to finish.
Jason Castro knew exactly what to do there. Take it all the way to the hoop. Mas maliit yung nasa harapan niya si Gio Halalon.
He ran through Halalon, to say the least. This is a zone defense now being played by TNT. Sangalang, old school once again with the deuce.
It was Paul Lee in the first few minutes of this quarter, now trying to go down low to Ian Sangalang.
Silent and steady Sangalang already with double digits. He's got 11 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Foul is going to be whistled on Giovanni Halalon.
Limited ang minutes itong si Mark Barroca. As Carlo mentioned, Mark Barroca suffering a slight injury with his hamstring.
If they can get this victory, and then he can rest for 2 days leading up to Wednesday, that is going to be a big boost for their team.
Well, they're gonna have to work on it as well, right? They stretch it out, do some therapy at the same time, but that definitely makakatulong yun.
Oh, Castro teleporting, had to kick it out. Bogoy for 3. No go. Abueva getting the board, cross-court pass over to Barroca. Elevating, can't get it over Troy. TNT back on offense. Williams. Lead pass over to Williams. And that is going to send Kelly to the free throw line.
Important yung sinabi ni Coach Josh Reyes. Not to be reactive, to be physical but not reactive if you're TNT.
Tumutok sa TV5 at abangan ang himig ng ating Pasko promo plug. Hulaan ang lyrics ng Christmas song, sumali at manalo ng 20,000 pesos weekly at up to 1 million pesos sa grand draw. Visit tv5.com.ph at ang TV5 Facebook, Twitter at Instagram page para sa steps kung paano sumali. Sa himig ng ating Pasko, guess the lyrics promo.
Paul Lee with 21 points now in the ball game. That's 10 points in the first 4 minutes of this quarter.
This is now a mental game for TNT, no, Dom? Obviously, Magnolia playing with a lot of intensity right now and physicality. The question is, how will the Tropangiga respond?
You know, it's difficult because yung first 2 games, di ba, you were in control eh. Yung offense mo was flowing so well, things were easy. All of a sudden, Magnolia shows up here in game number 3 being physical, and now your shots are a little bit harder, and now you're getting banged up a little bit more. Then lamang yung Magnolia. So, importante talaga yung how to react. So, you gotta be able to cut this lead down, match up that intensity. Meaning, if they're physical, you be physical too, pero hindi ka pwedeng mapikon and lose your focus.
Which is easier said than done. When
Yes.
you've got guys like along the long arms of the law, De La Rosa, Abueva, Corpus. But again, this is the finals. The Magnolia's here for a reason. They're going to make things difficult. Williams. Castro for 3. The Blur can't get that one to fall. Here comes Abueva on the run. Calvin. Ahanmisi. Barroca. Floater from the Beast is good.
And you can see the confidence of the hot shots here in the third quarter. You know, the third quarter has been good to the hot shots, huh? That is actually a quarter that they like. In game number 2, they had 29 points in the third quarter.
That's right. That's where, as you take a look at this floater, grabe kakapasok lang ni Abueva, meron na siyang floater tulad ni PJ Simon, no? Required talaga yun sa
Required
basic.
yun.
101. Lahat ng papasok kailangan ng Simon floater, no? But yeah, to your point, the third quarter is where Magnolia found some good stuff that they were able to use in this game against TNT.
29-20 yung third quarter ng game number 2. Led by this guy, Ian Sangalang, guys like Jackson Corpus as well, helping out. And Calvin Abueva. But here in game number 3, 10 points by Paul Lee. That's already 21 points for Magnolia in this quarter. And we still have 5 minutes.
Free throw shooting of Kelly Williams. Is that now 4 straight he's missed? I think it's 4 straight. Or did he go 1 for 1 of 2? Corpus. Abueva diving. And the beast with a runner in the paint.
Well, we've seen Mikey Williams been passing up on a number of shots. Maybe it's time for Mikey Williams to take some of those.
Reyes sa kaliwa. No. Tumama sa taas ng ring. Another opportunity for Magnolia to pad onto their lead. Take a look at this nice find by Corpus. Getting Abueva in stride. And the picture perfect floater from the beast. From shades off the scoring of puzzle. What can TNT do right now to sort of slow down this momentum of Magnolia, though?
Well, they've been getting good looks. They're just not been knocking them down. So nakikita natin, 3-point shots ang naibibigay sa kanila. Hindi lang nila na-shoot and they're open, which they usually make. So if you're TNT, you want to try to maybe go down low a little bit or attack that basket a little bit more in Jason Castro, in Mikey Williams. And we also haven't seen Mikey Williams take too many of shots here in the third quarter.
Adam wants it against Corpus. Williams for 3. Yes. Con goal. On goal. Steady dose of Mikey Williams could be what helps TNT get back into this game. Pero ngayon, 11 ang kalamangan ng Magnolia heading into this timeout. As Coach Chito Victorero will try to add on with 4 minutes remaining in the third. Once again, everyone, the long wait is over. Relive the excitement once more as the 7-11 Virtual Run 2021 returns this November 7 to 30. Tumakbo tungo sa tagumpay at kasaysayan sa panig man ng mundo. Tayo na magsama-sama at makisaya sa 7-11 Virtual Run 2021. Registration is from October 4 to 30, 2021. Visit www.run711.com for more details. Mikey Williams during the timeout was clapping, encouraging his time to try to get back into this game. They get a stop on that end. And this is a box and one right now being played by Magnolia, if I'm not mistaken. Eram almost taken away. 6 seconds. Williams has to go. Pull-up jumper. Another one from Mikey Williams. Distance for TNT.
And you remember, when they were in trouble in the other games, Mikey Williams would be the one to come to save. Ang difference lang nun, sila yung lamang eh. So ngayon naghahabol itong TNT.
10 seconds. Corpus diving. Contact there, no whistle. Castro is first to the board. Lead pass. Perfect. Oh! Pogoy goes down. Corpus and Reyes. Castro complaining. Pogoy is holding on to his hand.
Oh, Troy Rosario could have dislocated his finger.
No, that's Rosario down.
Rather, yeah, Troy Rosario.
Yeah, that's Rosario down. My mistake. Rosario is holding on to his hand. Sumenyas na kagad yung kakampi niya that something was wrong.
Ang feeling kasi ng TNT, hindi lalinam, di ba, pumunta sa ilalim itong si Jackson Corpus ni Troy Rosario.
Parang sinahod kumbaga.
Oo.
Rosario holding on to his pinky. That's his left pinky.
At nangyari na yan kay Troy Rosario.
Eto lead pass. My mistake. That was Troy trying to finish. Oh, landed on it. Parang he was trying to stop himself from falling
Oo, yun naman yung usual reaction, di ba? When you all of a sudden go with your feet up dahil dun sa contact, you're gonna use your hands to try to brace that fall.
I want to say this though. It looked like Corpus was trying to avoid Rosario.
Oo. Well, usually kasi ang pwede mong gawin, pwede mo ring hawakan to brace the ball, right? So you can see the finger of Troy Rosario looks dislocated.
There was definitely contact there. But
Kasi, alam mo, ang mahirap kasi paminsan pag sa ganung place is sometimes you're late.
yeah.
Di ba?
Hindi ka na makareact
Hindi ka na makareact and you're caught in a situation. But the thing is, obviously, because Jackson Corpus is a player that is very physical.
And he's known for that.
Yung first impression kasi nung kalaban will always be na sinadya.
Kung ano man anggulong ang sisilipin natin dito, this just looked bad. This looked horrible. I was actually bracing dun sa bagsak pa lang ni Troy, pero nadali din pala yung daliri niya dun sa landing.
Actually, yung daliri kala ko nga yung likod.
Oh.
Diba? So that's really something that. So flagrant foul called on Jackson Corpus. And because of that, dahil na technical foul na siya kanina, he is out of the playing court.
Kasi his hands took the entire brunt of the
And you're
landing.
hoping it's dislocated na hindi siya bali. Iba yung pagbali. Because if it's dislocated, then there's a chance that he can still play. Coach Bong Ravenna now talking to the referees, Jason Castro as well. This is something you don't want to see when there are injuries to players.
Everyone on the TNT side, the families as well of the family of Troy. We know that somewhere out there, Mitch Rosario, the wife, as well as the family, are all holding their breath and saying their prayers right now for Troy. Hopefully, he's gonna be okay, but he is obviously still shaken up right now, Dom. Di pa rin siya gumagalaw from that spot where he landed.
Troy Rosario, he's been crucial as well. Para dito sa TNT, Troy Rosario, he's solid. We know that he had 3 fouls in the first half. That's why he didn't play too many minutes. You can see now he's now slowly trying to regain his bearings.
And Troy is a guy who will not complain about much.
Naalala mo no semifinals, tinamaan yan, ha?
Yeah.
Diba? There was a cut above his eye.
He's not gonna complain about anything unless talagang meron. He looks shaken up right now, Tom.
Well, ang tanong din kasi dyan, aside from the finger, kung pati ba yung likod?
It takes a combined force of power, of strength of Javier. And Comonton Hini is going straight to the locker room.
They're gonna examine that finger of his. They might even take him straight to the hospital to get some X-rays done.
You've got Carlo Pamintuan, who's on the sidelines right now, checking up on. I'm sure what's the status of Troy Rosario. And we will try to get a report for you as soon as possible. But again, after all of that, it's Corpus ejected. He's out of the playing court with 2 technical fouls.
Well, 1 flagrant foul.
And then the technical foul in the first half. Pugoy is on the floor to replace Rosario. Quietly, Dom, TNT is getting back into this game. Only down by 7. Question is, how will that, with the absence of Rosario, affect the team moving forward?
Well, one guy we haven't seen come back yet in the third is Paul Lee, the guy who was, had a big responsibility kung bakit lumamang ng malaki itong Magnolia dito sa third quarter.
6 seconds. They get it to Pugoy against Ahanmisi, the rookie. Roger, floater, no. Abueva grabbing the board.
Took a little bit too long to get the ball to Pugoy against Ahanmisi, so credit the defense of Magnolia.
Baroja, Sanggalang. They're trying to high-low it over to Abueva, but they can't find an angle. Tapi ka ng bola. Foul on the blur.
So the next the next foul on TNT will be free throws for the Hot Shots.
With 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. They want the ball in the hands of Ian Sanggalang with 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Sanggalang body bumping against Eram. Spin move, no go. Almost fell in. Rebounded by Castro. Tumatakbo na naman ang tropang Giga. Jason stopping on a dime. Elevating, can't finish.
You want to be able to attack that defense of the rookie Ahanmisi if you're Jason
They
Castro.
have for sure. They have been hunting for Jerick Ahanmisi every time he's on the floor.
Whether it's Pugoy, whether it's Jason Castro, you want to be able to put on the Jets or post him up if you're Pugoy. So 6-point lead now for the Hot Shots.
5 points and 3 rebounds for Jason Castro. Dahan-dahan bumabalik ng TNT sa ating laro.
9-0 run.
That's right.
By TNT.
They've now outscored actually the Hot Shots in this third period. 2 minutes remaining. Bueva contra Pugoy. Looking for a friendly face. Over to Sanggalang. Oh, can't get the English there. Rebounded by Reyes. Castro for 3. No. Abueva lead pass over to Halalon. And Baroka will wait for a friendly face. Down goes Williams. Baroka jumper is good. And
Baroka, limited minutes but has been effective.
Williams died on that screen actually from Sanggalang. Just fell to the floor. 3 for Mikey. Bumawi kagad. Knocks it down from beyond the arc.
It's like 9 points from Mikey Williams. here in the third quarter.
He's got 28 points in the game. Castro. Foul is going to go on Abeba. That's going to mean free throws for the Blur.
And that's what, the fourth personal foul now for Calvin Agueva?
Dom, 28 points for Mikey Williams, dancing and shooting that time from beyond the arc. He is now 8 for 11 from the three-point area.
Oh. Tsaka dikit-dikit yung mga 3 points itong si Mikey Williams.
Two players in double figures for TNT. That's Williams with 28 and Pogoy with 14.
Remember, the record was Maverick Ahanisi as a rookie.
30
points. Mukhang nalaman ni Mikey Williams eh.
In the quote-unquote rookie season of Mikey Williams. Down to 3, ah. Down to 3 na lang kalamangan ng Magnolia. Napaho na yung opensa ng hot shots. Ian, just putting his head down. And Ian Sangalang has been putting Kelly Williams in the torture chamber in the paint.
Well, Ian Sangalang just so solid, just so difficult to stop him once he's down low. And he has that shot there, but he's look at this move. His hands are up. He's so tall. He has that up and under, but he can also shoot over you. So you got to be able to try and defend both moves.
Tsaka ang galing niya gumawa ng espasyo eh, no? 13 puntos. 4 rebounds and 3 assists for Sangalang. Free throw falls. Back to a 6-point lead. Castro against Baroka. Williams going for the record. Bang, bang! Another one for Williams.
31 points now for Mikey Williams.
9 for, I don't even know, 9 for 12 was Williams from beyond the arc. Baroka, Babawi. Oh, that's good. And Reyes and De La Rosa are about to explode if no one separates them.
You like what Ian Sangalang did, trying to push them apart, because you don't want. I mean, this is it's a highly emotional game. Remember, it was Ryan Reyes who did not like that move earlier on, or that incident that happened with Jackson Corpus.
That is, by the way, that last 3 of Williams, that was the 6th of the quarter for the Tropang Giga. He now has 31 points. Ito, tingnan natin ha. So nagka-box out, nagkatulakan, nagkatalsikan, nagkabagsakan. Konti na lang eh. If Sangalang were not there, although he was actually helping out itong si Rome. So that is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, basket and free throw. Unless they call a double foul on both De La Rosa and Reyes. Ay yun na nga siguro yung nangyari dahil counter-technical fouls. Williams has the ball and it's... Look at the zone with Rivas at the top against Williams. Williams for 3. No. It has been a dogfight and Magnolia escapes with a 5-point lead as we head into the final frame.
Rosario suffered from a dislocated left pinky. Yan ang initial assessment, as it has been a tough fall for him. He was also complaining of some pain on his back after the collision kasi hindi siya nakapag-brace na mabuti after the contact with Jackson Corpuz. Right now, he is still not joining the team. Nandun siya sa bandang likod nakaupo near the dugout as they await if he could come back into this ball game. But if you ask me, the finger, it really looks bad. He might have to go for an x-ray after this ball game. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Carlo Pamintuan, for that update. From the silence at the Dovsu Gym in Bacolor, Pampanga, there was a lot of red. Red on that pinky of Troy. And then he's also getting ice in the back. Remember that that Kelly Williams also is fighting through back pain. So is this guy on your screen, Ian Sangalang, although hindi masyado halata with the way that he's been playing. And for TNT, still staying within striking distance, but Magnolia has had the poise to overcome the storm. That is Mikey Williams heading into this final frame. And Dom, we actually have an update from our statistician Fidel Mangonon. Williams now holds the most three-pointers made in a game by a rookie, breaking a record shared by Alan Caidic, Calvin Oftana, Troy Rosario, and CJ Perez. They had 7 in a game. Yes, 9. 9.
Mag-isa.
Just by himself. With still a quarter to play, by the way. Just a spectacular performance by Mikey Williams. 2-3 zone applied by TNT here. They get it to De La Rosa on the left side. Oh. And Williams, Reyes rather, called for a foul. It's funny, no? Because these two are basically like mirror images of themselves.
Pareho sila maglaro.
It's no surprise they're getting into each other's heads at this point with their physical play. Halalon trying to break down the defense, getting it inside. That's going to be 2 fouls on TNT. Ganda ng disiplina ng Magnolia to get that ball in the paint.
Well, they gotta go down low. They gotta be able to go to the guy that's been solid, the guy that's brought.
Halalon trying to break down the defense, getting it inside. live action in the Dog Zoo Gym in Game 3 of your 2021 Honda PBA Philippine Cup Finals, brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. And another look at the old school moves. Simple but effective and devastating for Ian Sangalang.
And you know, in this day and age, di ba, parang lost art na yung mga post-up moves. But still able to get his points and you know, really be relevant. Yun ang kaganda dito kay Ian Sangalang.
Against
And yung evolution niya,
Sure.
yung evolution niya, when you remember when he first came into the league, si Coach Tim Cone pa yung coach at that time. And you know, in this day and age, di ba, parang lost art na yung mga post-up moves. But still able to get his points and you know, really be relevant. Yun ang kaganda dito kay Ian Sangalang.
Against
And yung-
quarter.
run by TNT.
That's right. Pogoy? No. And all blue shirts, only one shot for TNT. Halalon binigyan ng espasyo. No. Peruela, Baroka, diving. Kanino mapupunta? And it is going to be a jump ball. As we try to sort out all the bodies on the floor. Yan, dalawang Gilas stalwarts no, si Baroka at si Roger Pogoy. Sila yung nagbanggaan, diving for that ball. Reyes will take a seat. In comes JP Adam again, nursing 5 personal fouls.
So this is a gamble already by Coach Chot Reyes.
Baroka versus Pogoy. That is going to be the tip. It goes to Mikey Williams. TNT scoreless in the fourth quarter. Floater rejected by Sangalang. Baroka. Oh, basket! Bigyan mo pa ng isa! And look at Baroka flexing as he gets that shot over the Tropang Giga.
Well, the confidence of Magnolia definitely being shown here in the second half. Baroka playing limited minutes because of that injury. But Paul Lee, you got to credit Paul Lee. That big run that they had in the third quarter really impose and say that, you know what, we are in command of this ball game.
A rare show of emotion from one of the steadiest point guards in the PBA. But Baroka with that big basket over Mikey Williams to make it a 16-point lead.
26 points off turnovers for the Hot Shots. 13 only for TNT. Of the 15 turnovers ng TNT yun, ha?
Heram jumper, no. De La Rosa with the board. Muli, hindi magmamadali. Itong Magnolia Hotshots. Halalon, over to Sanggalang. Boy doesn't want to give up the foul, but good straight up defense there by JP. Ruela, Kelly Williams. Rejected again by Sanggalang. Baroka, good! Oh, and the floodgates have opened for the Hotshots. Williams jumper to silence the run. And that is the first 2 points of the period for the Tropang Giga. They got it with 7 and 13 na lang natitira sa fourth.
What a big run by the Hotshots. That was what, 11? Actually, 13. Because we started out this quarter at 82-77.
Have you noticed that it's Revis defending against Mikey Williams?
Yes. They're trying to
Never
give him
in my lifetime would I ever see that.
Well, they're trying to give him looks. They want him to drive. They want him to drive because he can use his quickness.
And then have a Sanggalang waiting for him.
And he's knocked down 9 threes. So you want to give him a different look.
You make a great argument to not let him shoot anymore. To put the tallest player on the team.
You remember that fadeaway shot earlier in
Yeah.
the first quarter? It was Rafa Rivas who was challenging that, and his hand was up there.
Baroka exits. And low-key, Baroka with 14 points.
In how many minutes?
In just 20 minutes of play.
Talk about efficiency. Talk about a guy who's also nursing an injury. So maganda yung pace talaga ng Magnolia. I mean, you're down 0-2. Playing with the purpose are the Hotshots.
Free throws good for TNT, down to 15. Here comes Paul looking to try to finish things off. That's a miss. That's a putback. Still a miss there for Paul. Heruela, Marcelo. And back-to-back hits there by the Tropang Giga. Lead is down to 13.
Well, if you're Magnolia, that's only a 13-point lead. You don't want to, rest on your laurels, and that's why Coach Chito Victolero right away calling for a timeout.
No momentum wanted for the opponents, says Coach Chito Victolero. They have a 13-point lead as we head into this timeout. Mikey Williams and company trying to grind their way back into this ball game. And it has been a fun one to watch. Mikey Williams and Paul Lee go head-to-head, Dom. They've done it in different ways for sure, but both have been spectacular this afternoon.
Oh, you like how Paul Lee has taken it inside, gone to, what he really does is to dissect the defense, not relying on his three-point shooting, largely because of that injury on the shoulder for Paul Lee. but definitely doing the damage and leading the way, bringing back that confidence for the hotshots. Mikey Williams, talk about confidence. His confidence is sky high.
Si Lino, this is the breakout game for him in this final series. And although missing there in that runner,
Hinahanap mo number one scorer mo na makakuha ng big games, di ba? So that, that your teammates will believe. You gotta remember, in a team, there's always that leader, there's always that alpha. And in Magnolia, especially in terms of scoring, it's Paul Lee.
Right. This is an interesting lineup by Coach Chot. No? Here in the crucial minutes of the fourth, he goes with Marcelo and Glenn Cobontin and Heruela.
And
not the usual Pogoys and the Castros to finish things off. Eram, libre, no. Oh, look at Cobontin, fight. Contact there, but good. Another block by Sangalang.
He's been holding down the fort.
Oh, he's been
offensively
spectacular.
and defensively.
Grabe. And then he gets Sangalang on a switch. At Cobontin, rather. Oh, good defense by Glenn. And he forces a turnover.
13-point lead, 5 minutes and 47 left. Kasi 3-point shooting ng TNT, si Mikey Williams ang talaga yung nakakashoot eh.
Ito na nga, nagdo-double screen na nga sila eh. Nako, offensive foul yan. And down to the ground goes the Beast. Nako, si Marcelo mukhang ang nahuli dito.
Calvin Abueva down there. We didn't really see what happened in that play.
It's going to go on Marcelo. Could be a costly turnover as TNT trying to make this comeback. Abueva still shaken up. He looks okay. I'll just say that much. He looks okay.
Well, we've seen that a number of times from Calvin Abueva, right? After he gets hit, yung initial shock.
Para si Wolverine yan eh. Bigla may healing powers. The Wolverine. Sangalang. Body bumping with Marcelo. Good defense there from Dave Guapo.
Making it so difficult that time for Ian Sangalang to get that shot up.
Williams. Libre. No. Marcelo the board. Question though for this line, is there enough offense aside from Mikey Williams? Heruela. Seal inside. Adam. Good.
Great pass that time by Dave Marcelo.
Boy, Tom Williams has played a ton of minutes in this game.
Well, he's got those young legs. So you're not worried about him being able to recover for next game or the game after that.
He's already played 40 minutes. Sangalang, another stop by Marcelo. Here comes Heruela on the run. 4:30 remaining, still a lot of time. Cobontin will put his head down and will be called for a...
That's going to be on Calvin Abueva.
It's going to be on the Beast. Looked like Abueva was there, huh? Pero ang hatol ng ating referee, he was still sliding, or maybe he was in the restricted area. Silipin natin. That was close. So it's this second unit of Coach Chot Reyes, Dom, that is slowly getting them back in the game.
And giving them some confidence. Right? And giving a different look. A little bit of an experiment by Coach Chot.
Minsan, it's the ano eh, no? Pagalingan ng mga magic bunot eh. Yun talaga yung...
You gotta remember, Chuck, we only see the games. They see the practices. So they know the guys that can play together. They see some mismatches or guys that, they could use later on. Remember, this is a series. It's a game of adjustments.
And adjust they have. TNT has gotten this Deficit back into single digits, and timeout is whistled. 9-point lead for the Hotshots. This Sunday, the Pop Dreamers meet the ultimate mentor, multimedia prince James Reid. Abangan din ang kanilang most awaited pop makeovers. The journey to the pop continues tonight on Pop Pinoy pagkatapos ng PBA sa TV5. Hashtag Pop Pinoy, ready for the pop.
Kailangan magaling ka kumanta.
Dirty pop.
Diba? Kailangan magaling ka kumanta.
This
Parang
must
ikaw.
be pop. Huwag mo ko hamulin. Huwag mo ko hamulin.
Batiin ko lang yung kaibigan ko na magaling din kumanta na si
batiin mo na.
Leobert Gabatin, nanonood ng PBA, always a PBA fan.
Baka pwede rin siya sa Pop Pinoy.
Alam mo sinong isa pa na nanonood? Always watching. Obviously cheering for TNT Tropang Giga. Yung anak ni Chairman Ricky Vargas na si Miko Vargas.
Ay. Hulaan ko anong team niya.
Sige.
Yung, hulaan ko, one of these two teams.
Ayan.
Malamang TNT. 9 puntos na lang at Marcelo forcing a turnover and offensive foul on Sangalang. So far, Dom, this weird lineup is working for Coach Shot Reyes.
Well, just a 9-point lead. 4 minutes to go. Definitely very doable.
And up for 3-0. Look at Heruela battle for the loose ball, and it'll go the other way.
Well, what do you love about Brian Heruela is when he's open, he'll take that shot, but he won't force anything, and he will hustle, and he will play good defense.
Whoa!
That's a violation.
Para nag-volleyball, para nag-set si Rivas kay De La Rosa.
Well, because Rafi Rivas, you know, is a guy that does not really want to bring
He
down
doesn't
that
want to dribble
basketball.
the ball. Forced turnover there. TNT calling for time. There's still time, but they're still down by 9. Back to live action inside the Doksu Gym in Bacolor, Pampanga. We have an update on Troy Rosario from Carlo Pamintuan, Dom, reporting investigation. And again, thoughts and wishes for sure. Thoughts and wishes and prayers up for Troy Rosario that he will be okay. Well, that he'll be able to return to the series, and more importantly, he'll be okay moving forward.
You know, you hope for the least amount of injury para makabalik itong si Troy Rosario. Because he plays an integral role
Absolutely.
for TNT.
So there's no more Rosario for the remainder of this game. It is going to be this man trying to make it rain once again. And a foul is going to be called on TNT. Marcelo mapipituhan. This team, Coach Shaw has a great defensive team, 5 on the floor. But can they get enough points? Magnolia will hold, and that is going to be the final.
Penalty.
The last one.
Oh, last one. Next one will be in the penalty.
Three and 36 remaining, still a 9-point lead. Magnolia held TNT to without a basket or a point for the first almost 5 minutes of this quarter. Give and go! What a find inside! Sangalang getting it over to Rivas.
Chuck, we've been seeing a lot of these nice crisp passes inside by the Magnolia Hotshots. Now 50% field goal shooting for the Hotshots as compared to the previous games. In the previous games, 27% in game number 1 and 39% in game number 2.
Difference in styles, no? TNT breaking all sorts of three-point records. Samantala naman, ground and pound, pounding it in the paint para dito sa Hotshots.
Which has always been Hotshots basketball. You know, ever since even Coach Tim Cone and even nung pumasok na rin si Coach Chito Victorero, yun talaga yung laro nitong Magnolia.
5 points and 8 rebounds for the ageless Rafi Rivas, the veteran of the Magnolia Hotshots. Was 1 for 2, back to a double-digit advantage for Magnolia. William trying to push it up court. Mikey, oh, what a move. No go. Got smacked on the head, but he will stay down. He's back up. Baroka tumatakbo. Floater. No. Look at De La Rosa, battle for the loose ball. Pero pupunta sa kabila, sabi ni Coach Chito, ba't ka nagmamadali?
Slow it down. Use the clock.
Nanggigil eh.
You were looking for offense. Jason Castro now coming in for Cobontin. Playing small this time. It's Heruela, Mikey Williams, and Jason Castro.
Still a bit more offense here for TNT. Good.
And this is what I was talking about. Mikey Williams really trust. And that will go a long way in this series. Yung mga ganun.
Oh. Lito ka shot from Aram there, fighting to steal. Sangalang, floater. Matic para kay Ian Sangalang.
Sangalang with 18 points in the ball game. Add 6 rebounds and 5 assists.
Lusot. And an N1 opportunity for Mikey Williams. Boy, he is just fun to watch.
Seems like he's just a step ahead of anybody who's guarding him.
Especially when he was able to get by Rafi Rivas. Lakas move na ito, hatid sa inyo ng Cobra, the #1 energy drink. Angat ang lakas mo.
I remember you were asking, well, you know, did you notice if it was Rafi Rivas? At that time, yun yung gusto gawin nitong Magnolia, na drumive itong si Mikey Williams, pero walang humelt dito kay Rivas. Kasi alam mo naman, maiiwanan siya eh.
Lee has been quiet in this fourth, gets it against Heruela. Approaching the twilight zone in game number 3, Lee, Bumanga, and Marcelo able to get the stop. Heruela, over to Castro. And here we go, last 2 minutes ng larong ito, hatid sa inyo ng Cobra, the #1 energy drink. Angat ang lakas mo. Oh, and a foul. That's going to mean free throws for TNT. They can get even closer with still 2 minutes to play. Penalty na yan, Dom.
8-point lead, 1 minute and 59. TNT still has a chance. So Magnolia, very important to make good decisions, slow it down, use the clock.
Free throws good for the Blur. He's got 8 points and 5 rebounds. It's Castro, Heruela, Marcelo, Williams, and JP Aram, the 5 on the floor. Only a 6-point lead. Both teams are in the penalty. Ten seconds. Barroca probing. Oh, a steal by Heruela. Taken away by Foy. Williams. Crossover. Over to Castro. Heruela for 3. That's an air ball. Almost a save taken by Castro. 11 seconds, a lot of time. Swing. Williams for 3. In and out. Marcelo the board. And look at the fighting spirit of Dave Marcelo and the rest of TNT.
You gotta love how TNT trying to keep that ball alive even after an air ball. That was a wide open shot by Brian Heruela.
Both teams have problems and are trying to communicate their concerns. Ito, tingnan natin.
Mikey Williams missing that. Dave Marcelo getting that basketball. That could have been a foul on Rafi Rivas.
But instead, it's going to be a sideline inbound. Good defense once again by Rafi Rivas in the paint. Minute and 17 remaining. Magnolia clinging to a 6-point lead. We're going to stay on the air.
Mikey Williams with 36 points and 2 assists. JP Aram 10 points, 11 rebounds. On the other hand, Paul Lee with 21. Ian Sangalang with 18. Barroca with 14 and 23 minutes of action. And Rome De La Rosa with 5 points.
Lee is scoreless so far here in the fourth quarter and did most of his damage in the third period. Sangalang has been steady all game long. You love also the 4 blocks of Sangalang. My goodness, what a performance there from Sangalang. But on the other end, an opportunity once again for the Tropang Giga who struggled. A game of runs. No, the hot shots limited the offense of TNT in the first half of this quarter. Pero ngayon, bumaliktad na naman. Ngayon, hindi naman makapuntos etong Magnolia hot shots.
Well, Magnolia so far has 16 points in the quarter. Ito namang TNT already with 25.
Difference.
Rather, 15.
How quickly the momentum has changed. And now it is Barroca and company trying to hold on.
Well, there's a warning on Coach Trot. Well, he wanted that foul on Dave Marcelo. On that shot of Dave Marcelo, foul on Rafi Rivas.
It's going to be a sideline inbound for the Tropang Giga. Aram to trigger the inbound against Sangalang. Heruela. Williams curling for 3. Good!
What a well-executed play now. That time by TNT, finding Mikey Williams in the corner. Just a 3-point lead.
10 3-pointers in the game for Mikey Williams. Almost a turnover. Lead is down to 3. Here's Barroca against Castro. Barroca hiding on that screen. The floater. No goal instead. That's good. Friendly roll for the Flying Bee.
Veteran move that time by Mark Barroca. He could see nothing was going for that offense. Off the hot shots, taking it by himself, making the 2 points.
Castro, it's a miss. Oh, that could be a foul on Aram. And if that is going to be the disqualifying foul on Poy. What a shot on the other end from Barroca. The veteran. With things falling apart around him. But first, we take a look at this gorgeously run play from TNT.
Well, they ran through those screens. And it's, it's obviously more difficult for Rafi Rivas to get around those screens. But Barroca taking advantage of that long arms and body of Rafi Rivas, using him to be able to get some daylight and get the 2 points.
Hamstring injury for Barroca, not slowing him down at all. He has been spectacular here in game number 3, part of a fighting backcourt. Put up good numbers in game number 2, but Barroca has elevated his play even further dito sa ating game 3.
Well, both guys have gotten progressively better from game 1 up to today.
Good, great point. So De La Rosa restoring order once again, could make this a 3-possession game with a free throw. 37 seconds remaining.
There's still a lot of basketball.
TNT will sue for time. We are just confirming, but I believe that we now have a new record for most three-pointers in a finals game. And I think that has just been set by Mikey Williams of the TNT Tropang Giga.
So far, TNT scoring 15 of 41 from the three-point area. At 10 dun kay Mikey Williams.
10 of 17 from beyond the arc. But on the other end, man, Barroca 16 points on 7 of 16 from the field. And he has just been spectacular. His drives nung sa kalagitnaan ng fourth quarter, and then also that clutch basket over the outstretched arms of JP Aram. Ooh, what a performance there for the veteran.
Just crucial, right, for Mark Barroca. These two guys needing to step up, needing to bring their A game, not just offensively, but defensively as well. It's been a challenge for them against Mikey Williams.
Give credit to Magnolia, Dom. We've been talking about how spectacular Williams has been, but the other guys have been defended well. Even Pogoy, Castro, all these guys. Reyes, libre. No. Coventin the board. Castro. Marcelo. Shot good for Dave Marcelo. Big shot there from Dave Guapo from top of the key.
And they've been looking for that three-point shot and knocking it down, now just down to 4 points. So very important for the hot shots. Look at that little fake by Dave Marcelo. Step back, sets up, knocks down that three.
So now it becomes a foul game. Because it becomes a free throw game for Magnolia. They will be tested from the free throw line.
Pero bago nun, Chuck, you have to look at getting the ball inbounds properly.
For sure.
If you're the hot shots. Naalala mo yung kanina, nung pag-inbound nila ng bola to Rafi Rivas, binalik niya agad ito kay Rome De La Rosa, and that was a turnover.
You have to imagine that yun yung pinaka pagtutuunan ng pansin ni Coach Chito Victorero dito sa huddle, as he will try to get in his best free throw shooters. But moving forward, it feels like Magnolia has found a solution to the problems they've had to try to slow down this TNT. It's just to create chaos overall and keep the Tropang Giga guessing kung anong defense yung ibabato sa kanila ng Magnolia.
Well, first and foremost, they got a better start. You could see that defensively in the first quarter, this basketball game, they held down TNT to just 20 points. So you could see the physicality was there as well, yung aggressiveness. Kasi in the first two games, TNT yung mas aggressive coming out. You know, they had all that flash, they had all that great offense, they had that fluidity. Pero hindi nangyari yon in the first quarter of this game. Well, they're bringing in Paulie also, just to make sure na kung hindi maka-steal kasi itong TNT, they're gonna end up fouling.
Two timeouts rather for Magnolia. Isa na lang para sa TNT. Rome might have to burn one. Got a foul if you're TNT. And they send De La Rosa to the free throw line with 18 seconds remaining.
De La Rosa, spotless from the free throw line, 4 of 4 so far.
Four for 4 for Rome De La Rosa. Suabing suabe, walang kaproble-problema para kay De La Rosa, who hasn't had a lot of time at the free throw line actually. But when he's there, he's an 83% free throw shooter for this conference.
That's good.
Oh my God, that's a guy, kaya hindi na niya binitawan yung bola. I got this.
Hindi kaya naman nandyan siya even in crucial plays.
4 for 26.
Because you know that he can inbound that basketball, and even if he gets fouled, he has that confidence and that touch from the free throw line.
25 for 27 from the free throw line for Magnolia. Spectacular. Williams. That's not going to fall, and that could be the last gasp.
You know, taking three-point shots, they were basically on their heels. But in today's ball game, Magnolia said, you know what, let's go back to us being aggressive, being the aggressor, making stops, making the game physical. And that's what happened. And they were, even when TNT was trying to come back, they were able to fend off those rallies.
Coach Shot Reyes emptying his bench, sending in Brian Mendoza in replacement of Jason Castro. And this guy, Ian Sangalang, 19 points to his name. Si Lee carried the team on offense for the first 3 quarters. Then it was Barroca and Sangalang that finished the job in the 4th. For TNT, lumaban sila hanggang sa dulo. But now, more important is the status of Troy Rosario heading into the next game. But ladies and gentlemen, it is Magnolia that gets the victory. And now it's a 2-1 series para kay Dominic Uy. My name is Chuck Aranet, and see you in Game 4 on Wednesday.